today we are back again with the first deck showcase video in a while, I think. Probably because, I don't know, there hasn't been that much going on recently. Apparently Milnard, under 10 Blood, whatever you want to call it, has shot its way up to tier 1, so we're going to give it a try and see how it goes. We've played a bit of under 10 Blood over time since it was first released, and it's definitely gotten like slowly improved over time, so let's see if it's really a tier 1 deck now. The last card here is just Grasping Spider. I do not have enough unanimated copies, so it ends up being spread out like that. But yeah, this list I just yoinked from like a JCG, so it's not an original list or anything. I'm not the most experienced Blood player, so I didn't really like take my time building my own deck or anything, so I just yoinked this from JCG. So yeah, it's a pretty good list, I think. So Under 10 Blood is of course built around Milnard. Her effect is basically that when you draw her or put her in your hand when you have 10 or less cards in your deck, she becomes a 2-cost 7 damage storm, which is definitely very valuable, of course. Of course 3 Milnard is 21 damage even without an evil point. But it's not the most reliable. First of all, it's very inconsistent to manage to get 3 Milnards by turn 6. And even if you do, if your opponent has 1 ward, you get stopped. I mean, of course, there's other options as well, but there's, for the whole triple Milnard thing, which is technically your highest damage output is triple Milnard, of course. But this deck did get a bit of help with that with Raving Vampire. Raving Vampire was the new card released in the mini. When you fuse into her, she becomes a 1-cost if you have 20 cards left in your deck. And then she has Storm and Bane, so she can be a 1-cost 1 damage Storm, or she can be a 1-cost Bane, which can get rid of a ward in your way, which lets you do triple Milnard on turn 7, which I guess is pretty decent. And then she puts a random Natura card from your deck that isn't Raving Vampire, which will be the Spider. It's basically your only, it is your only Natura card, so that's how that functions. But generally, triple Milnard is not super reliable. This deck aims to OTK by turn 6 or 7. So the more common OTK you get is double Milnard. So with 2 Milnards you get 14 damage. And then with an evil point you get up to 16. So you need to find the other 4. For that to happen, we have Nacht, which will help a lot. She gives your leader the effect that at the start of your turn you'll banish 2 random cards from your deck, which definitely makes you much faster. And also if you have 10 or less cards in your deck, then she deals 3 damage to the enemy leader, which means that you only need 1 more damage, which is why Raving Vampire, despite being just a 1 damage storm, is actually so valuable for this deck, is because it gives you a 1 damage, the 1 damage you need to hit 20 damage threshold. So it's a pretty big addition, I think. And the fact that she also banishes for you helps you draw your Milnard as well, which is great. And then other than that, there are some other weird cards I guess we're running. Hypodermic Devil. You don't really want to rely on this, but it's there if you ever need it, I guess. It's also a 1-cost. I mean, it gives you a assembly draw, which can get you your last 1 damage you need to get 20 damage OTK with Milnard in a pinch, I guess. And then other than that, we also run the 1 reminder. This is like an insight, basically. It heals you. It's like an insight that heals you. The draw is delayed, but I think it's fine. It's the 1 PP card that just draws you a card and heals you 1, which is pretty decent. And then yeah, that's about it for like the important cards for the list. The rest are all pretty standard stuff, I think. So I think that's enough rambling, so let's finally jump into the games. So our first game for today will be going second against Haven. Haven is mainly Amulet and Evo. There are maybe other decks out there, but I think the most common ones are Amulet and Evo. Amulet is definitely the stronger deck, but Evo seems to be popular for some reason. So there's that. For the Mulligan, we'd like to look for Nacht. She's like the key card. Whether you draw her or not will drastically impact how your game goes. So definitely try to look for her. If you're going if you're going first, having something like Asuka and Shuri to increase your hand size is always nice. If you're going second, I guess you can have the Sanguine Knight, the 2-cost spell. That this card is pretty good when going second, since it will discount your. It will basically you can play it for 1 PP to banish 2 and draw 2, which is very efficient. We don't have anything to do this turn, so we'll go ahead and play the Spider here just to banish some cards, set it up so that we can lock their board if we ever. Well, it does sometimes become relevant against Amulet, since blocking their board will deny them board space to play Amulet, which is pretty valuable sometimes. So my opponent went white here, which is pretty interesting. So this is a spot where we do run, normally we run Case Crack to deal with wards, but since we do run 3 copies of Case Crack, we can use it in cases like this. We don't really have anything else to do this turn. So our other option is of course to just play Warp Fusion and clear their board, which is fine. But as you can see, they only have 3 cards in hand, and they have 2 trees here. Their Amulet count is only at 2, so by denying them these 2 trees, we actually delay them by quite a bit. So we go ahead and just play Case Crack here. We take like some damage here, but it's fine. I think it's more valuable to deny them the 2 amulets of the last words of the Meowskers and the Feather Folk. So that's what we do. Some damage here, that's fine. We can go ahead and play the Sanguine Knight here just to draw into our deck. Definitely put Milnard back in whenever you draw her. We got another Sanguine Knight, so we're just gonna go ahead and play that as well. Well, we don't necessarily need the second Narc, so we just toss that, and then we get a Milnard here, which is fine. And then we can go ahead and... Oh, okay, so this is an interesting spot here where I chose to not put the Milnard back in, and it's because I'm very close to overdrawing. If I put the Milnard back in, it increases the chances that I get a Milnard back, which I don't necessarily want right now because my hand is so full. So we go ahead and banish something that isn't Milnard just to lower the chances of me milling a Milnard by accidentally putting them in my hand. Go ahead and evolve and trade, that's fine. Now we have Narc's effect active, so we can hopefully get down to 10 pretty quickly. There's a Selena from my opponent. It's fine. No, they don't have more evil points than me, so it's like a full 4 PP Cold War, and then unfortunately we don't have enough for Bane, so get stuck there. Actually, we don't really need the Bane. So there's the spider that came out. The spider will go ahead and lock them here, so next time they will pop Bam Beauties, but they only have 1 board space to work with, so that's fine. We go ahead and play the Hypodermic Devil since we have time. It's more playable going second, because generally you want to save an evil point for your OTK, so it's a bit harder to play a Hypodermic Devil when going first. Well, we go ahead and play Asuka and Shiori here. Our hand, as you can see, is a bit scary here. Very close to milling a card, so we go ahead and try to put Milnard back in. We try to draw something that fuses. Unfortunately, we don't pick up something that fuses, so we might end up milling Milnard next turn, hopefully not. And we of course ignore the Selena so that they have less board space to work with. We can just clear it with a Warp Fusion and whatever else next turn if we want to anyway. It's a Fiery Approach from them. We spent 1 of their Fiery Approaches, which is already very good. And see, my opponent is still at 7 amulets, so they are very delayed by the Folk and the Meowskers there, which is great. We can play Warp Fusion here, pick up the Milnard here, which will be under 10 now. Now that we are under 10, we definitely want to try to find our Milnard, so do that. We go ahead and evolve the Asuka and Shiori here just to clear the Selena. And then we just fuse the make hand space here. Unfortunately, we can't kill them. So we just make sure we have board space in hand. Hand space, and then we go ahead and play Lawful Evil, which will give us a damage reduction here, which should prevent them from killing us. There's the Concordia, so they do get a damage shield there, so we have to find a way around that. Thankfully, we have 6 cards in hand, so there is a bit of math, I guess, involved in playing this deck. We have 6 cards, so next turn we will draw 1 card for turn, and then we'll banish 2, which puts us at 3 cards, and then we have Raving Vampire, so we just have to... so after playing Raving Vampire, we will have 1 card left in deck after everything is said and done. So as long as that 1 card isn't Milnard, we should be able to kill them next turn. So hopefully that happens. We do get the banisher. There's the Milnard. Go ahead and evolve the assembly draw here. Now we are at 3 cards, so we have a 1 in 3 chance to lose the game if you play Raving Vampire, but I don't think there's any better option than just playing Raving Vampire here, so we go ahead and play that. Pick up the Milnard here, and then we can go ahead and just finish them off with triple Milnard. Yeah, that's it for this game. You definitely have to navigate your turns carefully once you're under 10, because if you're not careful, you will just die from deck out. So yeah, that's it for this game. Let's move on to the next game. So for our next game here, we're going second against, and we're going against Blood here. Blood has like 3 playable decks, so we don't really know what they're doing. Once again, we just keep the Nacht, because Nacht is great. And we toss the rest. Could be Wrath, it could be Evil, it could be under 10, we don't really know. Ruins of Ireland is played by like every Blood deck right now, so we still don't know what this is. I pick out the one reminder here. I choose not to play it for some reason. Honestly, I think it's fine to just play it, but I guess I just kept it. There's a Demon of the Key, so this will be Wrath Blood. And go ahead and set up the Grasping Spider here. We don't really have anything else to do anyway. Go ahead and start banishing cards from our deck. The Grasping Spider is great for board lock as well. My opponent whips out the Diablo's Hedone here, which is a bit annoying. I'm gonna have to take that damage, unfortunately. So that's the Grasping Spider. And then we finally do play the one reminder here, and this will draw us a card. And there's the Weapon Tamer. My opponent does have the second Weapon Tamer as well, so this will allow them to enter Wrath, the Serpent. So hopefully they don't have the Chimera here. Looks like they don't have the Chimera, which is very nice for me. And we've got the last Grasping Spider in the deck, which is not the most exciting. So of course we could play Asuka and Shuri here, but I think trying to heal up and deal with their board is a bit more important, so we go ahead and evolve Nacht here. Go ahead and trade that off, and then we can use the Gadel to clear the Diablo's Hedone. We've also put our Gadel at 1 health, which is very valuable because this means that they can only trade off at most 1 follower from their side of the board, so we can hopefully lock them that way. And that's the Garnet Rondo, which I mean, is it even Wrath if they don't have Garnet Rondo? And we go ahead and spend the evil point here, which is great for us because we have a bunch of Asuka and Shioris in hand that we want to use. And there's the Help to Train Your Bet from my opponent as well. So here has the Spider will come out. Oh, I guess the Milnard came out as well, but here the Spider will come out and it will lock their board, which is great. We're gonna play the Asuka and Shori here. This is very risky because our hand is very full right now, so we run the risk of milling the Milnard, but generally we only really need 2 Milnard, or that's how we play the deck usually, is towards a version that we only need 2 Milnard. So we go ahead and play the other Asuka and Shuri as well to heal. Pick out another 2 Milnard, which is not ideal. So we go ahead and banish the Milnard here. Milnard can't come out of the deck because, well, luckily I guess we didn't get it, but I think it's fine to mill 1 Milnard anyway. So even if the Milnard did come out and get milled by the by my full board, I think it would have been fine. And that's how the train over from my opponent. That's fine. We go ahead and play a Demon-Eyed Gangster as well. They don't evolve it, which is a bold move from them, but I guess it's fine. And there's the Milnard. We do mill it, but I think it's fine. We can lock this board, which is, I guess, an option. So we go ahead and just heal here, prioritize healing. Put the Milnard back in the deck as well. I definitely probably choosing to do the other effect of Buller is probably better since their board was locked anyway, but oh well. We go ahead and pick up the Milnard here. We are at 7 cards in hand, so we shouldn't mill the Milnard. We draw 2 cards next turn. So yeah, we shouldn't mill the Milnard, so this should be guaranteed lethal as long as we don't die, and we don't die here. They do play the Lion here, but they don't have much PP to do anything else with, so they go ahead and evolve their Wolf and trade. That's fine. Go ahead and get the Milnard here, which is fine. Nice. And then we go ahead and mill a card. So this is a pretty straightforward lethal. We go ahead and fuse a card here to put Raving Vampire down to 1. And Raving Vampire combined with 2 Milnards here will be 20 damage with the evil point, and then we can use Case Crack to get rid of the ward in the way. So a nice clean-ish lethal, I guess. So let's just move on to the next game. This is a pretty standard OTK combo, so you should get used to it. So we move on to our last game for today. We are going first, finally, against Artifact. Oh, it's against Portal, but like most of the time it's Artifact anyway, so I just assume it's Artifact. I don't normally like keeping Grasping Spider when going, like in general, but since it's Artifact, I think Grasping Spider is quite valuable towards being able to win the matchup, so I do keep the Grasping Spider here. Got the one reminder, we'll just go ahead and play that. No reason to hold on to it, it'll just draw us deeper into our deck. There's the Homunculus Advent, so this will be artifact. Unless it's some weird deck that's running that card for some reason. We'll go ahead and set up Grasping Spider early just so we can make sure we can lock their board. Normally with Sanguine Knight it's probably better to draw it deeper into our deck, but I think in this case being able to lock their board is nice. Opponent drops 2 Ines, so this is definitely an opportunity for us to lock their board with Ines, which is great. So we go ahead and play the Asuka and Shuri here just to draw. Notably, Ines cannot trade into Asuka and Shuri because they'll still live. There's the Holy Biker from them, which I guess they will trade off. So this time we definitely don't want to let them clear their Ines here just to take out their board space. Just steal Uncongregation from my opponent, that's fine. So this time we go ahead and just draw using the Sanguine Knight, put the Milnard back in the deck. And then we set up another spider to further lock them later on because that might be valuable. And there's the Aegil, so I guess they do have it. Cool. Opponent is gonna go ahead and evolve the Aegil here. And then there's the Rattrafia. Unfortunately for us, we haven't found Nacht yet, so we definitely want to try to do that. Aegil will, the spider will lock their board. They will get 1 board space from this amulet destroying itself, but that's fine. So for now, we just try to draw and find the Nacht because Nacht is pretty valuable for our win con. Fortunately, still no Nacht. We go ahead and play Gadel here just to draw one to our deck as well. Still no Nacht inside. We can go ahead and use 1 reminder to just make some hand space as well as draw cards. It's fine. Well, it's gonna go ahead and play the Analyzing Artifact here. And then they go ahead and play Sisterly Bonds, which will give them the Spinara's artifact as well, so they will be able to draw an artifact. And I guess they have another Analyzing here, which is fine. And there is the Lazuli as well to round off their turn, so they do have like a bit of a board right now. We definitely want to leave the Ines on board if we can here, so we try to find but our first priority is to find Nacht. If we can find Nacht, we don't really care anymore, so fortunately still don't pick up the Nacht here, we pick up Milnard instead. Go ahead and trade off the Hell's Heartbreaker here. Put Milnard back in again. This time we're at under 10, so Milnard will actually be discounted. That's fine. Since we don't have Nacht, we do kind of have to rely on the triple Milnard lethal, so that's what we do. Also set up the Hypodermic Devil here just because it will help us chip even a little bit more damage because we don't have Nacht yet. We'll go ahead and of course leave the Ineses on board as well just to minimize their room to do things. And there's the Lazuli. We're gonna go ahead and play Disseminator of Wisdom here, that's fine. And there's the Rhino from them. And then Aegil as well. And they will use the Disseminator of Wisdom on their Aegil. And they pass, so that's fine. I guess they made themselves 1 board space to work with. Out comes the Spider, which is gonna go ahead and lock their board once again. So this time we definitely can't kill them because we don't have double Milnard. Here we have to do some careful math. Lawful Evil will decrease our deck count by 2 each time we play it, so we're gonna go ahead and play 2 Lawful Evils here just to make sure we don't die. The damage shield reduction will be very helpful against Artifact. And there's the Milnard, we just need to find 1 more here. Go ahead and set a second Lawful Evil as well, so maybe if they can't clear this board, we might also win that way. Then we set up the Raging Vampire here. Worth noting, normally we have to watch out for doing this thing like putting our deck at 2, but since we don't have Nacht's effect, we don't really care. So we just focus on getting more damage out here. And there's the Rattrafia. And there's the Rhino as well. The Rhino will only deal like 1 damage because of our Lawful Evil, so they're definitely not killing us this turn. There's the Lazuli again. And there's the Radiant Artifact as well, which we're gonna have to spend to clear our board. It's very nice for us. There's another Rhino. We're gonna go ahead and play the Holy Biker here as well. They will clear our lawful evils, good for them I guess, and there's the Rhino. The Rhino will trade into the Raving Vampire here, and then my opponent can't clear, so they concede, but we will next turn anyway, so that's it for this game. So that's it for today's video with Milnard Blood. Honestly, very strong deck, I think. It's definitely very strong. I only dropped like 2 games trying to gather footage for this deck, so yeah, it's definitely quite strong. Definitely not as much stronger than we expected when we first saw Milnard Blood and how she did when she was first released, but with a steady stream of support, she's actually a deck now. So yeah, if you want to play Blood and you are tired of playing Wrath or Evil, then you can play this, I guess. I mean, it's another option. You can gamble on the Milnard gacha, but yeah, pretty solid deck. It's decently fun to play as well. It's a bit weird when you're playing this deck because like you don't see half the cards because they just get banished anyway. So yeah, anyway, that's it for today's video. Yeah, see you in the next one. Bye bye.